Today I'm going to talk about The Golden Boy by Canadian author Patricia Finn. Although this is her first novel, at 71 years old, Patricia Finn has a lengthy history in writing and editing and has worked for television companies in both Canada and New Zealand. You can look at The Golden Boy in two ways. You might simply read it as the story of a middle-aged man's search for himself, a man who is highly successful, yet whose identity remains affected by his traumatic past. Stafford Hopkins is a Canadian who has achieved much success and wealth in Hollywood production, and who finds himself retired prematurely and involuntarily. He and his wife Agnes, who has long-standing trauma of her own, live the exclusive life on Maui, where status depends on appearances, what you own, and which clubs you belong to. When he receives a letter from Canada advising him he has been made the guardian of 4 children, the grandchildren of his childhood friend Bobby Shepherd, Stafford's life takes a sudden turn. He has not only to confront the ghosts of his past, but also has to reimagine his future. But this book is deeper than that storyline, if you wish. Patricia Finn skillfully unwinds Stafford Hopkins' story and personal journey through the teachings of Aristotle, dividing the book into 3 sections: rational desire, irrational appetite, and courage. Now, I'm not going to do this justice, so if you are interested, you might want to read a review by Trish Bowering in the British Columbia Review entitled Aristotle for Everyday Use, in which she explains how Patricia Finn works philosophy and meaning into the life of Stafford Hopkins. There are several things I really liked about this novel, including the depiction of the maybe shallow and detached life of the ultra-wealthy in paradise, the realness of the marriage of Stafford and Agnes, and the historical fiction of life in Ontario, Canada, especially the story of Stephen Truscott. Now, some reviewers thought that this novel was slow to take shape, but I see this book more character development than dynamic plot, and that's why we don't meet the 4 children until the end of the book. The focus is not on Stafford Hopkins raising 4 children in middle age, but on his own life journey. The Golden Boy will give you plenty to think about or discuss in a book club, and I think I might reread it just to get the full value. The Golden Boy by Patricia Finn.